Ladies and gentlemen, I've always opined on this platform on many occasions that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. And that everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objective. Nothing in politics just happens for the sake of it. This past week, James Orengo has camped in Kisumu. And on Wednesday, James Orengo attended some interview with a local radio station, I think Namlolwe. And while leaving that place, James Orengo was mobbed with a huge crowd.
Linda Mwananchi.
Then I asked myself, what was Orengo's mission in Kisumu? Because initially, it was camouflaged as part of trying to get justice for Senator Ososi, who was attacked by goons because he was in some police stations there, I think once or twice. But yesterday, I got the real intention of James Orengo's mission to Kisumu. James Orengo secretly met with Professor Peter Anyang Nyong'o. And that meeting caused serious political panic to Oburu Oginga and his camp. And a fury of political activities followed after that meeting. Oburu flew back to Kisumu immediately, and Oburu met with church leaders, and that's where he made this statement.
Putting a break to it. The issues which are being discussed in public are just issues which people are thinking aloud. They want to maybe probe and know what might be discussed in those discussions. But those are agendas which are being prepared by our technical team. They are preparing a detailed agenda which will be made public soon. And we are going to put those things in public. They are not going to be secrets over anybody. And we are going to discuss them openly also. We are going to discuss with our partners openly and find a solution. Because these are issues which are to find a solution. We as ODM, we are not interested in other parties with whom we are not negotiating. We are only particularly interested in with whom we are going to start negotiations. We have not started the negotiations as yet.
But I want to focus about the meeting between Orengo and Governor Peter Anyang Nyong'o. Before we do that, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you this question. Where do you want Professor Peter Anyang Nyong'o to be? Do you want Nyong'o to be in one term, or do you want him to be in two terms? Let me read your comments below. Ladies and gentlemen, there is something between Professor Peter Anyang Nyong'o, Raila Odinga, and James Bob Orengo. And that's why this meeting is significant, politically speaking. And you can understand why Oburu was running helter-skelter in panic. Allow me to explain why I think Oburu and the team are actually worried about this meeting. Number one, is Professor Peter Anyang Nyong'o on his way to Linda Mwananchi? That is the biggest question after this meeting. Because Linda Mwananchi are supposed to be in Kisumu, I think next weekend. Because tomorrow they'll be in Nakuru, then after Nakuru, they will be in Kisumu. So the question is Professor Peter Anyang Nyong'o on his way to Linda Mwananchi Because remember, there is a statement which Professor Peter Anyang Nyong'o once said about Edwin Sifuna, that Edwin Sifuna is the future of ODM party. If you missed that speech, listen in. Probably that's why Professor Nyong'o, probably that's why Orengo went to meet with him.
Secondly, I think you read the interview that Sifuna had Kenya Times recently, where he made it very, very clear. Being a Secretary General at the spokesperson of the party, he clarified every issue. And since then, we have not seen any writing about Sifuna in the newspapers at all. Sasa wewe ni nani? Sasa wewe unaanza leo kupinga Sifuna. Wewe ni nani? We in the party sourced Sifuna from his professional work to bring him to the party. And he has been doing an excellent job since then. Ama sivyo? So let us support him. We in the party support him. Let the people support him. The guy is built for the future. Ama sivyo? The guy is built for the future. You know what I mean? Ukiangalia huko mbele, utaona Sifuna. Utaona nani? Sifuna. If you don't know what I'm saying, go home, fikiria.
Number 2, will Professor Peter Anyang Nyong'o participate in the Linda Mwananchi Kisumu edition? Will he show up? That is the question which is really worrying Oburu and the group. Because let's face it, if Professor Peter Anyang Nyong'o were to show up for that Linda Mwananchi meeting in Kisumu next weekend, that's going to be a major political boost for the group. So probably, depending on how they discussed, if he will show up, then Orengo shall have scored big, politically speaking. Because if Linda Mwananchi will succeed in Kisumu, I can assure you they are going to send serious political statement across the country. So their Kisumu rally is going to be a do or die for them. Just like the Kakamega one. You see, Linda Mwananchi gained momentum after Kakamega. Because when they were in Kitengela, most people assumed, oh, Kitengela, it was in the middle of the road, blah, blah. Oh, people, you know, Rigathi Gachagua, people, you know, Matiang'i people, Kisii in Kitengela. But Kakamega is an ODM stronghold. They went there, stormed, and it was massive. If they'll replicate the same in Kisumu, and Nyong'o shows up, that's going to be a major political coup for them. Number 3, and this is something I keep on repeating on this platform, that politics is a perceptional game of numbers, and how people perceive it. If Nyong'o were to join this camp today, what will you perceive it to be? So Nyong'o joining this group brings some perceptional value to it. That, you know, Kisumu is ODM stronghold. Now Nyong'o is likely to join it. As a matter of fact, the fact that Orengo met with Nyong'o alone is going to cool the political temperature in Kisumu alone. Because this county, the governor is Professor Peter Anyang Nyong'o. He understands it. If he had refused to meet Orengo, probably some things would have happened. But remember, Nyong'o is not just an ordinary person. Professor Nyong'o is a former Secretary General of the ODM party. He understands ODM and its operations just like his backhand. So that value is bringing. And I think probably by next week, maybe the other camp will meet with the professor, just to persuade him not to attend this meeting. Number 4, you see, there is something which has been happening in ODM party. They've been trying to isolate James Orengo and isolate Babu Owino. They are saying that these two are married to the mountain. And that's why they are going against what the community, the Luo community, which is one town, is headed to. And they were trying to paint James Orengo as a Lone Ranger. a solo player who is just going against the grain. If Nyong'o were to join him, then you'll count the governors from Nyanza. You'll arrive at 4. Then you'll realize that if Orengo and Nyong'o teams up, then there'll be 2-2. So the idea of isolating Orengo will now then be neither here nor there. And importantly, I think it's also about the Raila succession politics. And Orengo, in my view, has managed now to place himself in a very strategic position. On the ODM side, it's crowded already. There's Mbadi, there's Gladys, Pewanda is out. I want to remove him out of that equation. He cannot fit there. Then who else from Nyanza? And of course, this other side, there was only Babu Wino. Now there is Orengo. And the fact that Orengo is based here makes him an ideal candidate to succeed Raila Odinga. As a matter of fact, he also gets that platform, because if Orengo is in a place with Sifuna, Babu and the rest, I doubt if those people will not give him the respect he deserves. So in short, Orengo is in a position where now he is the automatic leader of the Linda ground. So which means if he will succeed, he will automatically become the next duo kingpin. I don't know what you think, but for me, if this meeting was about Linda Mwananchi and Nyong'o agrees to join them, Orengo shall have scored big. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Until next time, this is Makwiny. Bye-bye.